This is a little brief demo and just some of the things you can do with the Fusers Reserve products. And what we're concentrating on today is Oceanside came up with limited edition Fusers Reserve. So some of these are special to this show only that they brought to sell here. And then this year, Oceanside collaborated with Twisted Cane, which is a company there around the corner based in Washington. And we worked with them to make cane specific to each sheet and marini. So that's that. You've got little marini dots that they've made, which you can then play around with. You can stack. And so we're going to show some of the things you can do to decorate with these. So they've gone through and done something to coordinate with all 5 of the Fusers Reserves. So, first off, I'm going to talk about this Fusers Reserve, and this, I keep forgetting the name, this is Stardust. And this is an aventurine pond color, which is really gorgeous and green. I've got some layering here. You can see when it's transparent what it looks like. So I wanted to show how here's like a neutral gray you can put it on and how that influences it. And then here's 3 different blues put down, and then you've layered this on top of that. So you can move things around, you can decide when you find something that you like. I'll put this here where you can see it better. And you can really get some magical combinations. From very neutral going to a warm background, you can see how that changes versus this. Much lighter panel, and this again is a cross section of different light neutrals. So you can scan across and you can choose before what you want to layer it on. You can also go to the unexpecteds, like this piece. This is a piece of lagoon, and I just thought this was so yummy on that. So you can take this, and then the direction of your aventurine you can angle. So this aventurine creates this sparkle. This is metallic effect of this glass, so it's a specialty glass. You can have a lot of fun with this. You can go on quieter, you can go on warmer, crazier colors. This dish here was made with a beautiful colonial blue wispy mix. And you can see how dark it pushed it. Now on the ends here, you can see the twisted cane that was made to go with this product. This kind of more open cane, what's great if you do is if you stack. And you can either do it in a damming mold if you have a special marini damming mold, Creative Paradise makes one. You could put 2 of these down, if this is in a mold, otherwise you can use damming bricks and papyrus. You create a channel, and you put this in here, and so there would be your bricks on both sides, and you get this in a nice tight configuration. This is hard for you to see, Taylor, I know, but and you stack to where there's 2 on the bottom and 1 in the center. This shows you what that comes out like. This is, I did not full fuse this. This is a tack fuse so that you can actually feel, if you want to, after I'm done here too, you can come and look at all of this. You can see how it was fused. But when you full fuse it, you get that. So now you've got a solid, smooth piece, and now you can take that and you can incorporate that in your design. So you can take little pieces and bump them up together to create these things, or you can stack it this way. You can use the marini straight. These are more little samples of that. So you get all that beautiful sparkle in there. The edges of these sheets, when you see a full sheet of this and you get it, there's an opportunity on every sheet that you get. Sometimes there's lighter coverage, sometimes there's denser coverage, and so you really want to think about what are you trying to make, what size is your mold, and so you go through and say, okay, do I want this stripiness to work in here, or do I like this sort of splatter, scatter effect here more? Maybe I make the dish out of this, maybe I cut this off. This stripy effect that comes on all the spirit glasses, you can start to get at the edge. Hello. You can crisscross and you can make these plaids. And those buttons can go smaller and smaller. I even have some smaller in here, which I'll find after everyone's gone, I'm sure. Because that's how that works. So there's great opportunity everywhere. You can also decide, do you want your aventurine sparkle up or do you want it down? If you put it down, it could react with what you have underneath it. If you put it up, you're going to have it on the surface. You might want to clear cap that to get even glossier, more reflection. But I did some of these pieces without clear capping, and you can see how much sparkle is in. I mean, this is just a really sparkly sheet. So these are not clear capped, and you're getting, but sometimes I do turn it over if I feel like there's no reaction that's going to happen. And the reactive charts are on the website, so you can always get that, print them out, keep them in your studio. Another spirit sheet that we came up with, and this has come out before, but they did a whole run for the show here. And so, you know, a lot of this, you look at it, it's Christmas color. So you've got aventurine green in here, and you've got the red, and you've got the white splatters. Again, the edges are a great opportunity for making plaids. So I like, sometimes all by itself, like this happens to be a very dense piece. It has a lot of action in it. But this section of this piece, for instance, has less. This piece is a little bit lighter. So I like to layer them sometimes, especially if you get a light density sheet. And I have a piece of clear underneath here just so that it helps offset. But you don't have to have that sheet. You could just do this with 3 layers here. You could have that, and then put, let's say we put the aventurine up. Now take double thick clear, and you can go with even multiple layers of clear. So I have stacked this before where I've got double thick glass in between several layers, and you dam it and you fire it that way. And the reason you do that is you're starting to create shadow and depth. And so the more clear glass you have in between that, and the more depth you're going to start getting. And especially when you slump it into your piece afterwards, and you make sure that the edges are nice and clean, you fire polish them or you cold work them, whatever you're going to do, and you curve it up, and it's got in a mold that's got a nice lift to it, you get this beautiful shadowing that starts dropping down on the table around it. Yeah, it's really, you can create a whole lot of depth on there. The other thing you can do is you can obviously choose to layer in additionally some Monterey or something. Let's say you wanted to make it a little bit lighter. That's going to be a very subtle light lift that you're going to get out of that. Another thing that's fun to do is I thought, well, this is kind of like everybody just uses it as Christmas glass because it's red and green, and we all just get conditioned to that. But it's a great opportunity to use some sparkle and to get a little crazy too. So here's a sample of some sort of clown glass that I made. And I did that by taking the Atlantis spirit, and then you lay this on top of it. So again, you're moving around your sheets and you decide what you want. You could decide that you don't want the yellow, you just want to use it blue. Or you can layer it on a solid. This is a piece of vanilla cream that's been fully fused. And then add some sort of buttery warmth to it if you wanted to, or you could do a green. So a lot of layering opportunities here. Crisscrossing, I almost always grab my striped edges and cut them off and reserve them for special projects, and then let the splatter do the other work. So I wanted to also talk about in this sheet a couple of things that you can do with this. So my samples here, just letting the glass be the star of the show, because you get a nice full run piece. Wipe these down. So yeah, I didn't let it sit long enough. That kiln's rushing out. But so this is the twisted cane. Just put on the edge of the piece, and then I used a strip of grape on both sides. Yeah, thank you. This glass is, this is the star of the show, so I'm adding a little bit of embellishment because sometimes and I grab this particular piece. I like to stay with the flow. If you get some energy that's going one direction rather than trying to force it into something else, like having it go this way in different pieces. So that was a beautiful section. I wanted to use that. Here you can see the special marini that Twisted Cane made for that. So again, There's all kind of marine. I've got samples here where it's already fused as a button, and then there's pieces here that have been nipped up. These are special color combinations that Colin and Janet put together, a twisted cane, to get the aventurine blue to push purple for this product and to push hunter green kind of looking, like a dark rich green for the pond. So really cool, just having some nice products you can go straight to, and they really pick up an accent, so that becomes a no-brainer. This was really fun because they created, Colin came over, I went up to pick up the cane up from them, and he had all these little magic buttons that I just loved. He had done them in all of them. So originally he did this because at the beginning and the end of the cane pull, you'll get these globs, these big thick chunky things. So he nipped them up and just full fused them. And then he went out and got a rock tumbler and he decided to tumble some of them. So if you tack fuse that, you're going to be able to keep that cool frosty effect, or using stained glass. And so we have the red here. This is also an example of these. You can take these and put clear on top of them so that you get a bubble effect. It creates a much cooler effect. Yeah, an eye, absolutely. So that's what this was. And again, this lighting is be a little hard, so feel free to come take a look at these. But I just used a row of those in between. Now that, I just think that's so beautiful. It's just interesting. Now, I said, okay, that's great, but everybody can't buy those ends from you, so you can't show things to people that they can't make themselves. So taking little nipped pieces of the cane, you can just take them, you can put a few of them together, you put a piece of clear on, and you just let it go really hot, full fuse, and we always have extra room in the kiln. My kiln's runway. Every single part of that shelf is full. So there's always little buttons being made, and then I end up with big piles of these great things, and I don't have to go make them, and I got what I need, and I keep color coordinated so that, you know, it's good to go. You take that, you can get all kinds of cool effects. You never know what you're going to get. You can control the size a little bit if you want. If you're trying to do something very precise, you know, you could do that by controlling the volume of what you're putting on. So that's when you get a sheet that you just want it to do its own thing. You don't need to do anything. But, you know, a lot of people buy glass and, you know, they have it shipped to them. Or they get there and they're not seeing a piece that's really talking, and they see something like this, oh, well, it's got this space in there that doesn't have any sparkle. It's like, every sheet is an opportunity to do something with it. So on something like this, you can take stringers, and you can, again, when I'm slumping things too, I have all these little molds. This is a Creative Paradise mold, these little tiny ones, and I frequently slump stringer on them. So you just get some random shapes, and I just fill up all different colors, and I have them in all different shapes, and I can nip them. But you can take that and you can find sections where it's going to marry up the curve. Let's say there, and then I just nip it there or something, and I put a little rod dot at the center. I mean, you play around with this stuff, and you can get creative with accenting, but yet still following the curve.